Welcome back to Hot Mic Gaming. My name is Zach. I am your host of this channel. At least one of yours. The other host will be starting fairly soon. And I was really wondering what the next video on this channel should be. We've done a Death Stranding 2 video essay. We've done a Gears of War video essay. But this time we wanted to do a video discussion. Now, I didn't know necessarily what kind of video discussion I wanted to have yet. I was thinking about doing Marvel Rivals, but I haven't had time to jump back on that yet. But my good friend Griffin from over at FilmSpeak, if you've ever watched that channel, he has amazing videos. We ended up doing a collab over there for his channel originally, talking about Call of Duty and how it was announced that it was going to be made into a movie finally at Paramount. Well, as everything goes, Griffin got busy. He said, "Do you want the footage?" I said, "Yes. I'll put it on Hot Mic Gaming channel," and that's where we are. So some of the video may be a little bit delayed because we don't talk about like Steven Spielberg like saying that he wants to be making a Call of Duty movie, and Call of Duty told him no. But we do give our predictions of who we would like to see, what direction we would like the series to go, as well as it's going to seem like it's coming from his channel per se, but it is, now repurposed for this. Enjoy the video. I had a blast having this discussion with him. We're definitely going to have him come back on to talk Marvel Rivals because he is a fan of that. I love that game. And specifically with Daredevil coming back up, that's like the time that I'm going to get back into it. But without further ado, enjoy that. The next video after that will most likely be Borderlands 4, probably in about a week and a half. That's usually where this release schedule. So, of course, until next time, guys, enjoy the video and stay classy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the day has come that I think some of us who grew up as gamers never thought was going to happen. Call of Duty is getting a film or television, we don't know yet, is being adapted in some way, shape, or form. If you're like me and you grew up in the early 2000s, 2010s, you remember playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and the multiplayer and staying up entirely too late playing Nazi zombies with your friends. Needless to say, Call of Duty was a massive part of my childhood, and it's something that I still play casually pretty regularly. Like, it's one of those game series that's like, as the years have gone on, that is kind of one of the ones. It's like Madden, right? Like, it's disposable. You pick it up, you play the campaign, you play multiplayer for a little bit, and then you move on with your life. But it's something that I have wanted to see adapted, specifically the Modern Warfare trilogy, for the longest time, because I think there's a lot of rich story potential there. So we're going to break it all down and break down the things that I think could help make this a successful adaptation and not just another, run and gun war movie, because Lord knows we have entirely too many of those. Before we go into this, I didn't want to do this alone. I wanted to bring on a gaming expert. I wanted to bring on someone who I know loves the Call of Duty games as much as I do, someone who has his own gaming channel, started his own gaming channel, and you probably know him from the film space, and we're talking about Mr. Zach Pope. Buddy, how are you doing? How are you doing?
Doing great.
Good.
I'm doing great. Excited to talk Call of Duty, especially because it's becoming a movie.
It's becoming a movie.
Or a TV show. There's so much potential to this. I know like the franchise, like whether you still play it or not, is like kind of fall down and come back. And sometimes it's great and sometimes it's trash. And Black Ops 7 looks like trash. I just like not a fan of that, but I loved Black Ops 6. It's like, as you said, it's like Madden. You come back here and there, you play it, you enjoy it. So I've been pretty interested in this, and when it was announced that Paramount picked this up, I was like, instant yes. Then you texted me saying, "Hey, do you want to hop on and talk about this?" I said, "Yes, how can we make this work? How can I make time for this?" Because I don't know when I'm going to be able to talk about it, but this is the perfect platform to talk about it over on the FilmSpeak channel, man. So I'm excited.
Dude, no, it's going to be great. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, it is, it felt right? Like, you're the gaming guy. You have been the gaming guy. You've dabbled in that kind of content before, so it's a great place to do this. So let's start with the fact that what's your history, I guess, with the games? Like, you mentioned that you grew up loving them and everything like that, but like, for the people who aren't aware, like, you're pretty much as big of a fan as I am of like Call of Duty as a franchise.
Yeah, dude, Call of Duty. So, I remember playing Call of Duty 2 on like the PlayStation 2 with my neighbor, and like being like, "Oh, this is a cool first-person shooter." I'd known Ghost Recon, but I didn't know what this was. And then, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare comes out. That was the game I needed for Christmas. My mom picked it up, bought it for me. instantly fell in love with that. From the campaign to the incredible online, that was a game that truly changed what first-person shooters was. And in my memory, it was the first actual Modern Warfare game showcasing what was going on in today's like Modern Warfare. Everything else was just World War II stuff, which everyone's exhausted of. And I absolutely loved that game. And I remember I felt such disappointment when it was announced that the next one was going to be World at War, and I'm like, really? But then in World at War, they added zombies, which became one of the biggest modes, if not the biggest mode, and the reason that so many people pick up Call of Duty. I know for me, I will pick up a Call of Duty just for the zombies if it looks good and looks awesome, just because I love just surviving after round after round. And, you know, and then Modern Warfare 2 came out, and addicted. It was the only Call of Duty I went full prestige on, got every emblem, every camo, everything I possibly could. Modern Warfare 2 was generational. Stayed up way too late that summer. It got to the point where me and my friend, our parents collaboratively told us that we could not play the game anymore the last week of summer because we were so obsessed with it. So what we did was we said, okay, fine, we'll go outside. One of us snuck our Xbox out with the game, and we went to another friend's house to play it. That's how obsessed I am. So I love Modern Warfare 2, man.
No, same. It's I mean, it's one of those things where it was like like it defined blockbuster gaming, really.
Yeah.
And I mean, specifically that second one. I mean, the first one kind of paved the way. I think it was really interesting because they came out at a time, I mean, it was like in the aftermath of like 9/11 and the Iraq War and everything like that. And like, yeah, World War II shooters were like pretty prominent and popular. And like understandably so, to a point where it was almost just like it got so like fictitious and whatnot. And it was like escapism. But you know, I Infinity Ward and Treyarch and all them, they found a way to make the series contemporary again, because I think they saw the writing on the wall with you know, what was happening with Medal of Honor, right? Which was that people were kind of getting burnt out on just like World War II shooters. It's like, what can we do? It's like, okay, well, there is an ongoing conflict right now, and wouldn't it be bold to really tap into the feelings, the anxieties, the paranoia of that ongoing conflict and put it into a game, into an experience that really caused people to think about what was going on, to think about the people making decisions at that point in time, the leaders, and really just what a modern warfare does to not only a nation or whatever, or the people or citizens, but like the actual soldiers that are involved in it. And so I thought that was a really bold thing to do, specifically, I mean, with those games that came out in like that first one was in what, like 2000 and what, 8, like 9 something, or
8 or 9, because I was, man, I think I was only in like 7th grade.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest,
yeah,
I think I was like in 7th, 6th grade. Like, I was young.
Yeah. I mean, that was I was definitely in that middle school, early high school range. But you take something like this that I think it could easily be misconstrued as just like, you know, military propaganda and stuff like that. And, you know, look, it's a Call of Duty game. You don't have to think that deeply about it. But I think if you're looking to adapt it as a film or as a series, you have to look at the things that kind of made it interesting, that made it different from just like, you know, hoorah, like join the military or whatnot. Like there's stuff that it is saying about the state of the world and this state of the fact that, like, you know, Modern Warfare 2, where you have something like that level, No Russian, which is just like a spark that ignites a keg that blows everything up. And you know, there's really, really interesting stuff to break down in those games that I think they would be wise to tap into in a film adaptation or a television show adaptation. And that's just Modern Warfare. We haven't even gotten to the Black Ops stuff yet, which I know you're a big fan of.
Huge on Black Ops, man. I think other than Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1 were like the end-all be-all for me. But like, I will tell you this right now, and I was thinking this after we kind of like previously talked, like, what could they do? Dude, there's 3 things you can do with the Call of Duty franchise. You can make Modern Warfare into the movie franchise. You can do Black Ops into the TV series because it's so expansive. There's so many different choices and decisions. And then the third thing you can do is make a horror movie.
Yeah,
make a zombies horror movie, dude. Those 4 core characters are so iconic. There's so many iconic locations. different creatures that you could design. Man, put Fede Alvarez on that. I'm all in. Bring Sam Raimi.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know, dude. Imagine Sam Raimi making like a Call of Duty movie where it's all gung ho and then zombies. Like I know we had Overlord, which was
Which was
basically a Nazi
basically
zombies
that. Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
But you can really double down on that. And I think there's so much potential here if done
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Or it could just end up being like the Terminal List with Chris Pratt, which is just another one of those soldier things, you
Yeah,
know?
right. Or any of the other Tom Clancy. I mean, that was the other thing we were kind of talking about, is that it's like the key with this is that you don't want it to just be another like Tom Clancy adaptation, because Call of
Exactly.
Duty, I think, could very easily, and I think the games have also kind of done this, veer into that territory where it's just like generic military stuff. There's like a vague conflict, and you're just, you know, whatever.
Exactly.
And that's not to say that Tom Clancy stuff is bad. I enjoy it. I think there's some decent stuff in with Jack Ryan that they've done on film.
Yep.
I think the show is fine. I'm not a big fan of like Jack Reacher and such, although that's Lee Child. And then what was the Without Remorse, the one with Michael B. Jordan?
Oh,
That was
yeah.
that was another one.
That
It was
was, that was okay.
It was like, eh.
That was okay.
It's just generic
But
military action.
the things that all those lack are set pieces,
Yeah,
are
yeah.
gigantic set
Yeah.
pieces, which Call of Duty is
Yep.
known for. Like, especially in the Modern Warfare and Black Ops trilogies, where you get these giant set pieces. Like, I go back to Modern Warfare 2 when they're using the pickaxes to climb
Yep.
in the ice. Like, can you imagine that in live action? Like, that would be amazing for what you're able to develop. And to be honest, whether they decide to do a TV show or movie, you have so many different expansive areas to touch on, so many different pieces of lore that you can touch on, that all just works for the time.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, like, you're talking about the set pieces. I mean, the thing that I have wanted to see since I was a fucking kid is the battle in Washington, D.C. in Modern Warfare 2.
Oh,
The
man.
Russian invasion of
Yeah.
the U.S. is kind of like the Red Dawn sort of thing. It starts out as Red Dawn, and then it fully goes into just like borderline apocalyptic imagery.
Yes.
That, first of all, those missions as the Army Rangers are the best, probably two of the best missions.
100%.
Yeah, missions in any Call of Duty game. But like the one, I forget what is it. It's called On whatever. I can't remember the name of the mission. But like when you're actually going through the city and it ends with you on the gunship and you get shot down, like, dude. Oh my God, it's such a well-designed level with so many different moving pieces, and the way that it seamlessly, you know, diverts your attention towards these national monuments that are just like being destroyed in front of us. Like it almost turns it into like a borderline like D-Day type setting, with that level of just like you know, action being thrown in your face. It's just like so propulsive and so. I don't even know. Just it's an overwhelming experience. So that is like
It keeps your attention.
yeah, it's
like
gripping.
that's a huge thing.
I mean, that's kind of the
Yeah.
things like you were talking about. Those like Tom Clancy things not really having, at least the adaptations, not necessarily having, specifically the Amazon ones, not necessarily having those big moments that pop, that stick with
Yeah.
you. I think that's the thing that Call of Duty has always had, and specifically the Modern Warfare games that like stick with you. And because it is a first person shooter and they want those moments to be memorable, it's extra important, but they're also woven into the fabric of the story. So yeah, I mean, like stuff like that, stuff like in Modern Warfare 3, which is a game that I think that's a story they could improve upon if they were to adapt it.
100%.
The opening of that game in New York City, like these are all just like incredible set pieces that are memorable, and they have such exhilarating action. I mean, I think adapting that for the big screen using like IMAX cameras, using practical effects. I mean, we kind of saw a little bit of that with Civil War, with what Alex Garland did, the
Yeah.
end of that film.
He'd be a good pick. He'd be a good pick to direct
It'd be
too.
an interesting pick. Yeah, we've got to. I want to get to that, but, but the one thing is like Civil War showed me, specifically the way people reacted to the third act of that film. That showed me that a Modern Warfare 2 adaptation, or like, you know, any kind of Modern Warfare adaptation can work if you pay attention to those set pieces like that.
Yeah, because set pieces is what I think makes so many military movies feel all the same.
Yeah.
Like you really go back to any that you enjoy, if they don't have that one set piece that really sets it out across the others, they just all kind of mix and mash with one another.
Yeah.
Like I remember in the early 2000s, like the 2008, 2009, 2010, so many of those movies felt the same.
Yeah.
Enjoyable, sure, but like you don't really remember them. But then when you look back at Call of Duty, the reason you remember Black Ops and Modern Warfare specifically is the set pieces.
Yeah.
But I'll even go as far to say there's so much potential here because obviously they go very futuristic. They go even into space,
it goes
which
to,
I think is a little I think it's a little underrated
it's like absurd,
personally.
yeah.
But you can do that. You can even go to advanced warfare with like the gears that make them run on the walls.
Yeah.
All things like that.
Well, and that's
like,
interesting.
There is potential.
Yeah, well, and that's an interesting one to adapt as well, like advanced warfare, like something to build towards, because that's a really interesting look at just like privatized militarization and like how that kind of factors into this whole thing and the dangers that poses. Probably don't want to get Kevin Spacey back, but
I was just thinking that.
but like someone like that has that kind of presence, I think would like, that's cool to see like the evolution of it, and then also how destructive that becomes when that power is in the wrong hands, and that the effect that has on the soldiers. That's really that's cool stuff. I mean, speaking of like the Kevin Spacey thing, I think this is the one thing that I will, and I know I keep harping back on Modern Warfare 2, but that's just because that's the game I've wanted.
It's the best one. It's the best one.
It's what I've wanted to see adapted my whole life. But like, it sucks for many reasons that William Hurt is no longer with us. But like the fact that he can't reprise his role as Shepard, fuck.
It would have been perfect. It would have been so perfect, man.
I know.
But that's my thing. I really hope they don't just decide we're just going to keep the name Call of Duty and then make our own stories. No, you have the characters, you have the stories. I know they've kind of like remade Modern Warfare, and like those stories
but those
are not
are even
as good as the
good.
original
that
three.
First
but,
one was
but they
excellent.
are decent for their own thing. The first one was excellent, but I hope that they take those characters and just interchange. Like, you don't have to do the exact same story. Make it your own. But keep those characters, keep some of those reveals. Like the Shepard thing, man. My jaw, I remember, dropped. Because that mission, doing it on Veteran back in the day, was like almost near impossible. And then you finish it and you're like, oh, that's it for me. Okay. Let's move on to the next piece of this story. But yeah, lots of potential here. I want to ask you though, what's one actor you want to see in here? Like if you could pick one actor to be in a Call of Duty movie.
That's tough. Because I'm like thinking of who I'd want to cast as like Soap or Price or Ghost or I mean, I don't know. Do you have anyone in mind? I'm struggling. Like, I mean, you mentioned Sam Worthington. I think that would be a great, bring him back.
Just because he's
why not? You can like I think Woods is, or not Woods. Why am I blanking on it? Mason. Mason. Yeah, like that's like he doesn't have like a super distinct look. You can make that Sam Worthington. That's maybe the only one that I can think of. I don't. Who do you have?
Honestly, dude, it might be because of your background with the Bond stuff. But I'm being honest with you. Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan as I don't know,
as someone, just someone in there.
It feels like he would fit in.
Maybe,
yeah.
It's my mind goes to like a lot of those guys that like never fully broke out. I think in like the early 2000s, like the Sam Worthingtons, the Jai Courtneys, the
Taylor Kitsch.
I don't know if I want to see Taylor Kitsch because he's
but he's in
I was
Terminal
say he's
List.
in Terminal List. I don't want no, none of that.
Hey man, give me Aaron Taylor Johnson. I saw his military look in Tenet. I'm down for that.
That's true. I could see that. Yeah, I mean any of those guys. I mean John David Washington would be great. Michael B. Jordan. I don't know. It really depends. Although, like,
there's a round full of people that you could just throw in.
Sure. I mean, like, Frank Grillo looks like he's like tailor made for a film like this. So,
100%. Man.
Yeah, I don't. It's interesting. I think like the cast to me. I think what's cool about the characters in Modern Warfare specifically, or really even Black Ops as well, is that they're memorable. But they're malleable, so you can do things with. It's like with Price, as long as you keep like the beats of his arc, and then also just like the standard look of like the flatter hat, and he's got like the weird
mustache.
The weird mustache kind of thing going on there. Ghost is pretty fucking easy. You just have him look like Ghost, and then give Soap a mohawk, and we're good to go. And he has to be
Yeah, man.
Scottish. That's the thing. Yeah, he's got to be
Yeah,
Scottish.
and you have to,
Yeah.
they have to make fun of his name. I
Soap,
need the
yeah.
tutorial level when he goes through and they're like, soap. Like,
Right, yeah, exactly. Oh, that's the other thing. Bring back Keith David.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
it would never work, but like his voice in that second Modern Warfare, and then I think he may have been in 3, I can't remember, but like in the Army Ranger missions, I was just like, oh my god, it's so good. He could be.
There's so much potential.
Yeah.
So much.
There really are. Or there really is. But it ultimately, I think for me, because of the fact that it is this, it is something that could very easily be adapted poorly.
100%.
That's why for me, it really comes down to who they're going to get to direct this film. And I tweeted out when the announcement came out that I think the only person that could probably reassure me that this is going to be done well is Michael Bay. And it's the obvious answer, right? Because it's just like, oh yeah, Michael Bay action military movie, no shit. But it's also the fact that those, and again, I'm really just talking about Modern Warfare because it is the most popular line, and I think it is the best starting point for an adaptation. Those games were patterned after the blockbuster action of the era, specifically the early 2000s with the Transformers movies and stuff like that, the Bourne movies and stuff like that. But he defined that era of action. Bayhem was the thing, whether you liked the Transformers movies or not. And it's very clear how stuff like Modern Warfare 2, the first Modern Warfare, or even the third one, really took inspiration from the big action set pieces like in those Transformers movies, in stuff like I don't know, like I mean there's a little bit of Bigelow with the Hurt Locker in there and stuff, but like specifically Michael Bay and just like the energy that he brings to those set pieces, the drama, the heightened degree, because that's the thing. The thing about Call of Duty is like, yeah, it's an action-based franchise. Yeah, there's a lot of like ground, militaristic type of action, but it is so it like reaches such a degree that you can kind of believe it, but it also leaves reality. So like it needs to be a little bit extra than what you would typically do with a normal military kind of film like that, which is I think the problem Civil War ran into. I love that ending.
Yeah.
And like that's probably the closest we've gotten to a Modern Warfare set piece in a film, but it is missing that spectacle, that drama, the dynamism with which he shoots action, just like the intensity. I mean, yeah, like what is it?
But he just did Warfare. He just did Warfare.
Right, yeah.
Alex Garland,
Warfare is
so.
also great. I think that's another great example. But like I'm also thinking of like 13 Hours. Like that's another one that feels very Modern Warfare adjacent, Call of Duty adjacent. And so like his fingerprints, whether or not he was not directly involved in those games, but his fingerprints are all over those films. And so wouldn't it be great to go out, get the guy who defined that era of action that inspired those games to make the film adaptation of those games? Plus he's a Paramount guy, right? So like
Yep.
It makes sense to me. I don't know. What do you think about that? And then also like who are your picks for potential directors?
It's crazy because I fully agree on Michael Bay. Like Michael Bay defined an entire era of blockbuster, and Modern Warfare and Call of Duty still borrow from that intensively. Like definitely Modern Warfare was at that time, but I think if you give Michael Bay this franchise and you give him a good script, not this schlocky Transform, which don't get me wrong, I enjoy a lot of his Transformers stuff.
Yeah.
Even Age of Extinction has kind of grown on me a little bit in time,
yeah.
which I know is blasphemy for so many. Trust me, I never thought I'd be saying that in my life, but Rise of the Beast kind of soured me a little bit on that. But I think Michael Bay understands, and like you said, 13 Hours, he can get that grime and gritty, but he can also showcase an incredible set piece. No matter what you think, even the worst Transformers movies by him still have incredible set pieces.
Totally.
The Last Night, one of the worst movies ever made. But that final set piece between Optimus Prime fighting them with the swords, still visually awesome. It's just visual noise. He knows.
He knows how to construct a compelling action image and make fights look cool as hell.
Exactly.
He knows where to throw explosions in the right place. It's also and not even just like the action itself, but like the color palette, like the really rich, saturated, like teal and orange colors that have kind of defined his, the way the look of his movies. Also, just like his orbiting shots. I mean, it's like all this stuff is just like, yeah, that's fucking Call of Duty. I mean, the Call of Duty is they're just video game Michael Bay movies. Like that's the thing.
You're just playing through Michael Bay movies.
Are,
but
yeah.
I want to throw in there. I want to throw in there, man. Like he needs a good script.
Oh,
like
100%.
we can't have a crap script.
Yeah.
So I'm saying this: have Taylor Sheridan write it. Actually, let him take his time and write a good script because I think Taylor Sheridan is an incredible screenwriter. He's over at Paramount as well. I would even go as far as say I think he's a pretty solid director too. Like when you look at Wind River, but I think if you let him write, have Michael Bay direct, that's like a perfect everything.
Yeah.
I know the obvious other one people are going to say is Joseph Kosinski. I think he would do a solid job too, but I just don't see that being the thing that he would do next. I do want to throw one out, and I cannot believe I'm saying this. I really cannot because a lot of this director's like recent work has been crap. Ridley Scott, man. I think let Ridley Scott with a great script also just pour
Black
out.
Hawk Down.
Because what he did, Black Hawk Down. Yeah,
that's another one that's kind of like an archetype. That's like an inspo for those games as well. I think.
Exactly.
I mean, that's an inspo for a lot of Michael Bay war films. So like I think I don't know if Ridley Scott would do it. I think he's got.
And neither do I.
Yeah, he's got projects that I think he's interested in. The only other name. I mean, again, I'm pretty like locked in, like it's Michael Bay or die for me. If it's not Michael,
I'd be pretty shocked if Michael Bay doesn't do it though. I'll be honest with you.
Right? Like it's like, come on, guys, what are we fucking doing here? But the other name that I did see someone mention that I also considered mainly because of their work on the Extraction films is Sam Hargrave. Sam Hargrave is
that's another good one.
He's the only person, and that's again because the Extraction films kind of feel Call of Duty-esque. I think his handling of action, the way he showcases it, the way he designs those set pieces, he makes it grounded, but not in like a, I don't know, it's not like super, like there's, I guess what I'm trying to say is there's a little bit of a heightened element to it, even though the choreography and everything going around it is very viscerally intense and real. I mean, I think like I'd love to see one of his one-ers in a Call of Duty film. I think that'd be really, really fun.
Imagine him doing a one-er Call of Duty for Modern Warfare. They're like trying to escape the bomb and the nukes going off.
Man.
That would be an incredible one-er, man. Like that he could pull off. But to add in another one, Gareth Edwards just came to my head.
Yeah,
I would love to see him do like something like this. But I think he would be really good at like the more sci-fi stuff, like Black Ops.
I think he's I totally agree. I think the Black Ops. It's so funny. It's like we're immediately thinking of just like who's gonna make Modern Warfare, but it's because that's the one they're gonna adapt. But I don't even know who I would pick to make a Black Ops film because that requires a bit. That's a more interesting, and I guess. There's more filmmakers that you can kind of choose from, I think, to adapt that and adapt it well. Yeah. You don't need Michael Bay to adapt Black Ops, but
no, I wouldn't want.
I don't think
I
would.
I want him to touch Modern Warfare.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, do you have any ideas? Because I could see you mentioned Taylor Sheridan. If he's writing Modern Warfare and he's in the Paramount family, I could see him doing a Black Ops like television show or something like that. Feels like his wheelhouse.
And I think he could pull it off.
Yeah.
Like that's definitely conspiracy theory, all sorts of things like that. Like I definitely think Paramount's going to keep it in-house. Now, another one that kind of throw out there, J.J. Abrams.
Dude, I was literally just thinking that. Yeah, because the lens flares and like the way it kind of plays with time, sort of like Alias, the back and forth.
100%.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking Mission Impossible 3, like if he shot it that way, dude, it would be a great throwback back to that era of filmmaking, and I would love it. Also, man, if Philip Seymour Hoffman was around, he would be such a good Call of Duty
he would
villain.
be. He'd be excellent.
Ridiculously good. Ridiculously good. But yeah, I think JJ would be another, I don't want to say safe pick, but like an obvious one that kind of just fits that mold, and again, is in the Paramount family. There's a lot, and I think Paramount's definitely just going to keep it in-house. Like, I think they're going to work with directors that they trust. Maybe an Edgar Wright, like if Running Man's truly awesome, Edgar Wright could pull off a Black Ops as well.
He could.
Especially if Running Man's awesome, with all the sci-fi nature of that.
Yeah.
So There's so many good choices. Like
Totally.
that is the thing. Call of Duty is a sandbox of stories and characters, even if on the surface it's people screaming at the TV because they're dying and getting spawn killed. Like there's even, and I'll say this, there's an even avenue that you could like jump into in a comedy aspect of this. Like that I could see like the Lonely Island crew touching in on, especially after Naked Gun, man.
Shit,
like,
that would be
and
insane.
just play into that. Like
That'd be crazy.
just give me a Call of Duty like roadmap. Like if Kevin Feige's doing it, do Call of Duty. You got Black Ops, Modern Warfare, Zombies. Make a comedy out of it. I'd be down for it all.
I think what's kind of cool about this, and what I think this is probably something that Paramount should have considered doing a long time ago, is they have been trying to get a G.I. Joe movie off the ground for fucking ever. And
it always sucks.
It sucks.
Once they release
but it's like there's and the problem is like G.I. Joe is just dated. Like G.I. Joe is a product of the 80s. And you could say that Call of Duty is a product of the early 2000s and the post 9/11 Iraq War era, but that is only one version of Call of Duty. Call of Duty is kind of, because it's stayed in the zeitgeist, and because it's evolved over the years and gone more into the future, and they've done stuff like with Black Ops 2 where they're going from the past to the future and all that stuff. It's proven that it can keep up with the times, it can adapt, and it can comment on the world around us, whereas like G.I. Joe is just like kind of like action figures with like vaguely Nazi-looking villains and stuff like that. So I think that is the one thing that Call of Duty has going for it that something like G.I. Joe doesn't, and this can kind of fill that void that they've wanted to do with G.I. Joe. And you're playing into like contemporary audiences and stuff that they're familiar with. Like if this was the 80s, like sure, go ahead, adapt G.I. Joe all you want, but it's not. It's 2025, and like Call of Duty is something that it's kind like it's an institution at this point. So look, I think that and it's a video game adaptation, and those are really starting to take off now.
Especially if you take care of them. Like if you put the effort in, we've seen so many adaptations, specifically in TV work, but I think movies is kind of like where we're waiting. Like obviously they're doing Sonic, and Sonic 3 is awesome, like in terms of an adaptation. So like I think Paramount knows the right path. And I will say like most Paramount movies aren't disappointing. Like whether you love them, hate them, feel like you just like them, or they're a little overrated. Like I do say that every Paramount film that has come out feels like it's cared for the most part, even if I didn't like it. Like I know you hate Final Reckoning.
Yeah.
And I'm so sad I didn't get to see your video before it got taken down. I had it in my queue, man. I had it in my queue, dude. But like that's something that like you can still look at Final Reckoning and be like, I can tell they cared for it. I just didn't give a shit for it
exactly.
at all, like in terms of what they were doing.
Right. That's kind of the thing is like I think they have proven that they can, like you said, they can take care of their IP. They have proven themselves in video game adaptation space with stuff like Sonic. This is very different, but if you kind of take that, you know, they're looking for a big franchise, right? Transformers is kind of dwindling out. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles isn't as popular as perhaps they were hoping. Sonic is insanely popular, so you got stuff for like younger audiences and like millennials.
But Call of Duty, dude. Call of Duty.
Let's get Call of Duty. That'll get in like a whole other
$1 billion.
Yeah, 100%.
Modern Warfare. If you adapt Modern Warfare, I would be sure. And it's a good movie, $1 billion.
And that's the thing. It has to be good. This can't be a throwaway property. Like this has to be something where you understand why it works. It cannot simply be generic military propaganda. You have to engage with the themes of the games, and then pair it with this exhilarating action stuff. Like I want to see the nuke go off in Call of Duty 4 and depicted with such horror. I don't know how the fuck they'll do no Russian, but if they find a way to do no Russian, that would be nuts. And I also think
they'll do it.
They will.
They'll do it. It's a conversation.
Sure.
It's a conversation.
There is a conversation. So. I mean, I think the other interesting thing is like the world has changed. It's not the same world as what we were existing in when those first three games came out, but it's also very much a product of that world. And so like I think specifically like you're looking at the Russian invasion of the US and specifically how that's infiltrated its way into higher up government official. I mean, that's stuff that's like ripped from the headlines right now. You've got these ongoing conflicts. Like it doesn't have to be like a 1-to-1 adaptation of those games, but if you keep the story beats, maybe change out some of the specifics and take a look at the global landscape and the conflict going on. It's like, what can you comment on about this paranoia that we're going on about toxic nationalism and what conflicts like this do to people? Is that doesn't really change. That's stuff that's important in all war films, and so like there's a lot that you can really pull from. I mean, the cost of like endless war, right? Like it's like we finished the Iraq war and then it just kind of spiraled into the shit that we're in right now. So there's a lot that we can really explore here. I think it's why it makes it such a ripe franchise for adaptation.
No, I fully agree, man. I think this is like the right direction after this merger that Paramount did, and I think Call of Duty is just gonna, like, I'm hyped. I really hope they succeed in this. I hope they don't drag their feet, and I hope like in the next 2 years we're able to say, okay, we have a Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Like I hope they're hitting the ground running.
I do too.
Like,
I do too.
You don't just invest that much money in this because it seems like they've been trying to get a Call of Duty movie made forever, and it's like you have all the pieces right now. Make Taylor Sheridan write that script. Make Michael Bay direct it. Tell Michael Bay he can make whatever he wants after Call of Duty. Like, even if it's a Transformers 6 bringing Shia LaBeouf back and wants to go balls to the wall insane, like, just let him. Just let him. It's Michael Bay. You know he'll probably make you $2 billion right now.
No, 100%. I think he's a guaranteed hit maker. People, even if like someone says his movie's shit, they're still going to show up for his movies. I mean, there's an appeal to that guy. I love how cynical of a filmmaker he is too, which I think really fits Call of Duty as well. So like, it's a perfect storm. I agree. Taylor Sheridan, Michael Bay, let's fucking go. Before we close this out, when do you think is the soonest we're gonna get a Call of Duty thing, and then what do you think the first thing out the gate they're gonna adapt is?
I think they're going to do a show first, and I think it'll be Black Ops. Mainly because Black Ops 7's coming out this year.
Oh, good. Yeah,
and
good
I think they'll probably announce it around this time that, hey, we're doing a Black Ops show and it's going to be on Paramount.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That way they get, the streaming. And I think I wouldn't be shook if that goes into production like next year.
Yeah.
But first movie, I really do think will be a Modern Warfare adaptation, and I think we'll probably see that around 2028. If I'm being if I'm thinking in the future and how much time they would need, I couldn't see them filming it next year. But 2027 seems like a safe bet that they would film it for. And 2028 is like an open zone right now in terms of like what films are coming out. You don't have any big Avengers films. You don't have any big DC films as of yet that are dated. So it's like, what do they have that year? The Batman? That's
maybe.
Yeah. They just have a Batman movie that year. So it's like, kick it off in May, have a Call of Duty movie open up the summer. I'm not even joking, $1 billion.
I agree.
Like, you have 2 generations of people that will go and see this movie, but you also have like people like my grandpa that would go see this movie because it's a war film. Like that's exactly why.
Yeah.
So,
no,
give me it.
I totally agree. I do think you're right. I think they'll probably start off with the show. Black Ops makes the most sense, but the pessimist in me is just like, they're gonna make a Modern Warfare TV show, aren't they? Fuck me. That's not gonna be fun. I really hope that's not the case. I hope they do prioritize theatrical and recognize that, like, hey, these are stories and these are like experiences that are made for the big screen, and then maybe do some of the less action-y stuff on television, or I don't know. Like, again, not that Black Ops doesn't have action, but there's more espionage involved in that. And I think that can work
100%.
well on television. So yeah, I mean, the other side of this is just like, are they going to adapt, or are they going to make completely new stories just using the Modern Warfare label or the Black Ops label or like the whatever? Like,
it'll kill my interest. I'll tell you right now.
It will.
If they announce like, hey, we have a Call of Duty movie coming out, but it has nothing to do with anything that you've dove into before, my interest dives down. Even if, to be honest, even if Michael Bay and Taylor Sheridan or whoever, like a very talented, like my interest would dip
Totally.
a lot, because it's like, why?
Yeah.
Like, I look at Fallout, and Fallout has this expansive world, all this expansive lore. Literally, the show is in the timeline of the games.
That's cool.
Like, it takes place after all the games, and I love that. But it uses the world to its own thing. I'm not saying Call of Duty needs to be like in the same timeline and tell different stories in there. No, just borrow from it and use it. Like adapt it with the characters, with some of the arcs, and make it into a better flair.
Totally.
Make it into a better story than you already have. You have the template. I want to see the set pieces come to life. That's like the biggest thing, and those characters. That's why we go to these video game adaptations. It's not to see the same exact story. It's to see how can they adapt it but make it better.
Well, that's what I'm thinking about, like the stuff they did with Sonic. I'm not even a big like Sonic fan, or I mean, like I like Sonic, but it's not like anything that I like have that much experience playing or whatever. Like I'm aware of it, but even that I'm watching and I'm seeing the action stuff, and I'm like, wow, you really nailed like these. Some was like Dragon Ball Z-esque fight sequences. You really like paid attention to the lore. You like, I mean, Sonic,
especially with Shadow.
Yeah, with Shadow.
Like Shadow's lore.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think they were gonna kill the little girl off. And they did. Like okay, let's continue.
I mean, but again, that tells me that Paramount understands what makes video game adaptations work. At least I hope, and they can do some. Fingers crossed. Yeah,
Fingers
I mean,
crossed.
I hope that the first Call of Duty movie isn't like that first Sonic movie, because I think that first Sonic movie was a bit of a compromise. But, yeah, all this to say is like I think it's at a good place for a good studio, good home, for an adaptation. So, yeah, I'm hopeful, but to your points, this is excitement that could very easily go away with like a couple of a couple of announcements there, right? Like you get a director who is just like, who the fuck is this? Can he even make this movie? Probably not. You get like, it's going to be its own thing, right? We're going to create our own universe. No, not interested. Give me Ghost, Shepard, Roach, Soap, all these characters, Woods, Mason. Yeah, you need that.
Just go on that list, man.
Exactly.
Like again, you have it all. Just pick a story and make the movie. Like I know it's way harder than I'm making it seem, but like I know you can do it. I know it. I've seen it. I've seen other video game properties. Like you say, Sonic the Hedgehog is not. It takes elements, but it's its own thing in the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I mean, do you have countless ideas you could do here?
Yeah, totally.
And you have countless talent at your disposal that you have all these first look deals with. Use them.
Man. No, I'm 100% in agreement with you. Except if it's Christopher McQuarrie, I think he needs to stay in director's jail. I don't want him touching this right now after the final reckoning. Anyways,
listen, hey, not a bad pick. Just don't let Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I don't want Tom Cruise. I don't want Tom Cruise in this. Anyways, Zach, thank you so much for joining me on this. It was nice to talk about Call of Duty with someone who I know enjoys these and whatnot. But let the people know what you got going on and where they can find you and all that good stuff.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I'm so happy that we got the collab. It's been like way too long.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I haven't even seen you since my wedding. So like, it's been wild year, man. But yeah, you guys can find me over at Zach Pope Reviews, where I talk film and TV all the time. I was talking video games over there, but I did just jump over and make a new channel called Hot Mic Gaming. I launched the first video essay or video discussion talking about Death Stranding 2, which is the game of this generation. I have a Gears of War video coming out fairly soon. If not, it's already up. I'm really deep diving into that one because I love that franchise, and that's another one that I cannot wait for the video game adaptation of. I just not really that big of a fan of David Leitch directing that one, but thank you so much again, man, for having me, and this was a blast.
Yeah, of course, dude. No, thank you so much for joining me. Yeah, go check out his channel. He's doing good stuff over there. The gaming, it's funny. It's like, I know you're a movie guy. You go to all the screenings. You're a great critic and all that stuff. But I feel like that gaming channel is like kind of like where your true passion lies. I don't know why, but it's just like you have so much to say about all that stuff. And so, like, it's kind of cool just seeing you finally, like, taking the plunge into gaming properly. And I know it's something you've wanted to do for a while. So, yeah, like,
absolutely,
go check out his stuff. Like, he knows what he's talking about. Not just in terms of movies, in terms of video games as well. So,
yeah, I appreciate it,
Of course. Yeah, thanks. And then, guys, you know what to do. Do all what am I telling you what to do? Go check out Zach's channel. And then I'm sure there's another video around here that you can go check out, another editorial or whatnot. All right, guys, that's enough Call of Duty talk for now. I'm probably going to go play it now, so I'll see you later.